10 most haunted places on Earth. Some places carry more than just history. They hold secrets, whispers, and the kind of stories that make your skin crawl. From scary forests to ghost-filled castles. In today's video, we're counting down the most haunted places on Earth. Stay with me, because the final location is so terrifying. It's been studied by scientists and ghost hunters for centuries. Number 10. Dragsholm Castle. Built in the 12th century, it is one of the oldest castles in Denmark and also one of the most haunted. Over the centuries, it has served as a noble residence, a prison, and even a military stronghold. But its history of betrayal, imprisonment, and death has left behind something chilling. The most famous ghost here is the White Lady, believed to be the daughter of a nobleman who fell in love with a commoner. Legend says her father imprisoned her within the castle walls, where she died. During renovations in the 20th century, workers discovered a skeleton in a white dress hidden behind one of the walls. Another spirit is James Hepburn, the 4th Earl of Bothwell, who was imprisoned and reportedly went mad in the castle's dungeon. His ghost is said to still ride through the courtyard on a phantom horse. Guests and staff often report strange experiences, doors opening and closing on their own, unexplained cold drafts, and sightings of shadowy figures. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, Dragsholm Castle is undeniably a place where history feels alive, or something close to it. Number 9. Edinburgh Castle. Edinburgh Castle stands as one of Scotland's most famous landmarks, but its beauty hides a chilling history. Built in the 12th century, it has witnessed centuries of executions and imprisonments. One of the most famous ghosts reported here is the Headless Drummer, who was first spotted during a 17th century siege. His appearing is said to be a warning of imminent danger. Visitors have also reported hearing the faint sound of bagpipes playing in the castle, believed to be a ghostly piper sent into the tunnels centuries ago who never returned. The castle's dungeons, which once held prisoners of war and accused witches, are another hotspot for paranormal activity. Tourists and staff have also felt sudden temperature drops, seen shadowy figures, and heard faint cries from the dark. If haunted castles sound unsettling, our next location is an entire forest that defies logic and leaves visitors with more questions than answers. Number 8. Hoia Baciu Forest. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Romania, Hoia Baciu Forest is one of the most mysterious places in the world. Located near the city of Cluj-Napoca, which is infamous for creepy stories and unexplained phenomena that date back decades. The forest gained global attention in the 1960s when a military technician captured photos of a UFO hovering above the treetops. Since then, visitors have reported strange occurrences, including bright orbs of light, sudden nausea, electronic devices malfunctioning, and feelings of being watched. What makes this forest even more chilling is its oddly shaped, twisted trees. In the center of the forest lies a circular clearing where no vegetation grows, despite the soil being fertile. Paranormal investigators believe this clearing might be a portal or a site of high energy. Some locals refuse to enter Hoia Baciu, claiming it's cursed. Others speak of people disappearing, only to return days later with no memory of what happened. While scientists have tried to explain these phenomena as natural or psychological effects, many questions still remain unanswered. If you think a haunted forest is strange, wait until you hear about the next location. It's a hospital where the walls seem to hold on to the screams of its past. Number 7. Shawnee Hospital. Originally built in 1935, this hospital is one of Singapore's most haunted places. It served as a hospital for British soldiers before becoming a Japanese prisoner of war camp during World War II. The atrocities committed there left a permanent scar on its history, with countless prisoners tortured and killed within its walls. After the war, it was converted back into a prison, but it was abandoned in the 1990s. Since then, the building has become a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors and urban explorers report hearing phantom footsteps, disembodied screams, and voices echoing through the empty halls. Shadowy figures have also been spotted wandering the dark corridors. One of the most chilling tales involves sightings of headless apparitions, believed to be the spirits of prisoners who were executed during the Japanese occupation. From haunted hospitals to luxurious hotels with ghostly guests, our next stop inspired one of the most famous horror stories ever written. Let's check into it. Number 6. The Stanley Hotel. Nestled in Estates Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel isn't just famous for its stunning views of the Rockies, it's known as one of America's most haunted locations. Built in 1909 by F.O. Stanley, the hotel gained worldwide fame after it inspired Stephen King's horror novel, The Shining. Guests frequently report paranormal activity. One of the most common sightings is of Flora Stanley, the founder's wife, playing the piano in the ballroom. Staff and visitors have also heard music coming from the room, even when no one is there. At room 217, where King stayed, guests report objects moving on their own, lights flickering, and strange sounds. The fourth floor is another hotspot of ghostly encounters. Visitors claim to hear children running and laughing in the halls, but when they check, no one is there. The Stanley embraces its paranormal reputation, even offering ghost tours to those brave enough to explore its haunted history. If you thought a haunted hotel was unsettling, our next destination is a castle with a dark and bloody past. Number 5. Leap County, located in County Offaly, Ireland, is often called the most haunted castle in the world. Built in the 13th century, it has a long and bloody history of family feuds, betrayal, and murder. The most infamous story is that of the Bloody Chapel, where one brother killed another, a priest, during a family dispute. To this day, visitors report seeing the priest's ghost in the chapel. The castle also houses an unsettling entity known as the Elemental, described as a dark, shadowy figure with a putrid smell. The Elemental is believed to be a spirit tied to the castle's violent past. Some speculate it was summoned during occult practices performed by previous castle owners. During renovation in the 1900s, workers discovered a hidden dungeon filled with human remains. The dungeon, called an oubliette, was used to execute prisoners by throwing them down a shaft onto wooden spikes. Leap Castle's gruesome history and chilling encounters make it a must-visit for those interested in the paranormal. If a castle with a haunted dungeon sounds terrifying, wait until you hear about our next destination. It's a church with ghostly figures frozen in time. Number 4. St. George's Church. Located in the small village of Lukova, the abandoned St. George's Church is one of the most hauntingly unique places in the world. Built in the 14th century, the church was abandoned in 1968 after the roof collapsed during a funeral service. Many locations saw the incident as a bad omen and refused to return. Years later, the church was given new life in a spine-chilling way. Czech artist Jakub Petrava filled the pews with ghostly sculptures of cloaked figures to symbolize the parishioners who once worshipped there. The installation is both creepy and mesmerizing, drawing visitors from all over the world. While the sculptures are art, the church has a reputation for being genuinely haunted. Visitors report hearing faint whispers, footsteps, and even feeling an unseen presence. Some believe the spirits of the villagers who abandoned the church still linger. Despite its haunting atmosphere, St. George's Church has become a cultural landmark, balancing its ghostly allure with artistic beauty. From ghostly sculptures to haunted houses, our next destination takes us to one of Australia's most terrifying places. Number 3. Monte Cristo Homestead. Monte Cristo Homestead, located in Junee, New South Wales, is often called the most haunted house in Australia. Built in 1884 by Christopher and Elizabeth Crawley, the Victorian mansion has a dark history that matches its scary reputation. The Crawley family lived there for decades, but their legacy is shadowed by mysterious deaths and tragedies. One of the most chilling stories involved a young maid who fell or was pushed to her death from a balcony. Another tale speaks of a stable boy who is burned alive by his master. The most unsettling, however, is the story of a mentally ill man who is chained in an outhouse for over 30 years. His ghost is said to haunt the property to this day. Visitors to Monte Cristo often report cold spots, feelings of unease, and even physical touches from unseen forces. Some have seen ghostly figures, including Elizabeth Crawley herself, who's frequently spotted in her former bedroom. If haunted houses give you chills, our next stop is a historic fortress that has been a hotspot for ghostly encounters for centuries. Number 2, Tower of London, England. This tower is not just one of England's most iconic landmarks, it's also one of its most haunted. Built in 1078 by William the Conqueror, the fortress has witnessed centuries of imprisonment, torture, and executions, leaving behind a scary legacy. One of the most famous ghosts is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII, who was executed on the Tower Green in 1536. Her headless spirit has been seen wandering the grounds, sometimes carrying her severed head. Another chilling tale involves the two young princes, Edward V and Richard, who disappeared in the tower in 1483. Their skeletal remains were discovered centuries later, and their spirits are said to haunt the bloody tower. Guards have reported hearing children's laughter and seeing shadowy figures near their former quarters. The White Tower, the oldest part of the complex, is known for unexplained cold spots, and the ghostly figure of a bear is believed to be a spectral guardian of the forest. Even the yeoman warders, or beefeaters, have their own ghost stories from patrolling the grounds at night. As haunted as the Tower of London is, nothing compares to our final destination. It's a place so terrifying it will surely give you nightmares. Number 1, the Myrtles Plantation. The Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, is widely regarded as one of the most haunted houses in America. Built in 1796, this historic plantation is steeped in stories of murder, mystery, and restless spirits. One of the most famous legends involved Chloe, an enslaved woman who is allegedly caught eavesdropping and had her ear cut off as punishment. Seeking revenge, Chloe is said to have poisoned a birthday cake, accidentally killing the plantation owner's wife and 2 of their children. She was later hanged by other enslaved people, and her ghost is believed to haunt the property. Visitors often report seeing a woman in a green turban wandering the grounds. Another creepy tale is of the 10 people who were supposedly murdered in the house. While historical records dispute some of these claims, guests and staff consistently report paranormal activity, from phantom footsteps to unexplained cold spots and even full-bodied apparitions. The Myrtles Plantation is a hub of ghostly encounters. And there you have it, 10 of the most haunted places on Earth. Which one sent shivers down your spine? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more spine-tingling stories. Until next time, stay curious and maybe keep a nightlight on tonight. And I'm Brian Crow, narrator for this channel, inviting you to join us for another thrilling mystery right here on Mystery King.